guys and gals, good morning to you all. This is Drake Wing Gaming, as some of you may know me on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at another Let's Play episode of Violet Memoir. So y'all, let's go ahead and jump right... Oh, Lucas's path. So let's go ahead and jump right back in, shall we? Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go. I hadn't expected Lucas to actually tell them about our upcoming plans, but I shouldn't be too surprised. At least he didn't say it was a date, just that we're going to read the diary at the cafe. Oscar showed interest in joining us, but after a glare from Lee, he backed off. I don't think it's because Lee wants to give us space, but from the excuse Oscar gave us. Sounds like Lee needs Oscar for something. Is this about that family issue? I thought he didn't want Oscar involved. Regardless, Lee takes us to the library where we all surround the table from the other day. I can already tell that a few of us aren't too comfortable being here again, me included, but no one complains. It feels fitting that we talk about it here. Okay, so I did some research into things after what Costi had told us last night, and he's right. Things are really strange about this case. A student killed someone in a study room. I don't think there was anything normal about this, you know? Right, sorry. I should have a bit more tact about it. No sweat on my back. I don't have any skin in the game, just that, you know, we might be meeting someone soon who does, right? Oscar leans towards Lucas and me, making it pretty clear that we're supposed to answer. I want to look for Lucas for help, but I still have to deal with making those two make up. Probably. Might be a good idea for us to interview him, or at least get his opinion on things some more. Okay, but it sounds like you guys thought he was a friend, too. I don't care about meeting him for this project, I just want to see your friend. Oh, right. Yeah, we can bring him, right, Lucas? He looks surprised that I'm asking him, despite it being obvious that he'd be involved in this decision as well. He'll want to join. He's already asked about you numerous times. You don't sound very excited about that. It's fine. Things are just complicated between us. It won't be a problem. Three of them look between each other before coming to some kind of silent agreement that I'm not included in. I expected them to carry on the conversation, but Lily just moves on, leaving me in the dust. Alright, so like I said, I did some digging. Things are really strange. A lot of what the police found just didn't add up to what witnesses said about the scene. Like what? For example, in the report, they said that Quinn looked to be totally drenched, but the witnesses never brought that up before she went in. Does that mean she got soaked after she went in the room? Like what? Ellen dumped a water bottle on her? Right? That just sounds super strange, but that could just be explained away with that, I suppose. But Conrad suffered massive lacerations across his face from claws way better than any person. Lacerations? Cuts, claw marks in this case. Mercy looks to have been killed by blunt force trauma to the head, which doesn't sound too weird outside the fact that a single girl like Helena did it to 3 people. That's not even the weird part. Well, the weirdest part. Apparently the force that fractured her skull was too massive for an adult male, let alone a relatively thin girl like her. Oh, so they were killed by creatures. That is what it sounds like. I need to burn this damn book. Where did you find out about this? I had to do a lot of digging. There was a lot of conspiracy theories about this that weren't a lot of help, and it took an insufferable amount of time to parse through that bullshit. But when I did, there looked to be a lot of strange things about this case. Costi was definitely right about that. What does it mean, though? What does it mean, though? I've decided to agree to the conclusion that Helena didn't do it, but if she didn't, then who? What, are you suggesting they did it to each other, or that there was a third party involved? There wasn't much cameras at that point, right? Couldn't anyone have just gone in afterwards? With what? Some massive guy who could crush a watermelon with his hands and massive claws? I think someone would have noticed that. What then? Can we hurry this up? I need to go soon. Right, sorry. Let me just finish this up. Basically, I don't know. Lee just rolls his eyes while Oscar giggles a little bit under his breath. That isn't malicious because Lily starts to join after him a second, though Lucas just looks at me in confusion, and for once I'm kind of there with him. I know, this sounds silly, but that's basically all I had. I just wanted to point out that something was strange. I will admit, there's something strange going on there, but that's not much we can do about it. We can't convince people she didn't do it without an alternative answer. Denying something isn't worth anything if we can't provide a different answer. Plus, she's dead anyway. Not much we can do about that. You're right. Sorry, I got a little excited. No, you're fine. I'm being an asshole. Sorry, shit just got... You don't have to apologize. I understand. Things are a little complicated right now, but you're right. You're forgetting one thing, though. What's that? It isn't our job to fix this. We're not trying to uncover the hidden mystery, remember? You're the one who was always pointing that out to us. This is gold for our project. This proves that the media was deliberately ignoring major pieces of information just to push this narrative about Helena. That seems to completely cut through any of the awkwardness that had been remaining. Everyone looked to agree with her. Even Lee looks genuinely impressed. I hadn't thought of that. Right? It's only so much, and it also might help with figuring out what's going on, but even on its own, it's quite a bit. Lily gives me a little wink that she knows that I'm trying to dig deeper than just what this assignment is asking us to do. I'll have to thank her later. I have a feeling that Lee wouldn't appreciate that. Anyway, that's all I had for you guys. I would keep you, but even I have some stuff that I gotta sort out tonight. That means that we're gonna be heading off then. I gotta play mediator. You're mediating something. I know, right? Wild. But I think I'll do a good job. For the record, this isn't my idea, and it certainly isn't hers. I look over at Lily before realizing that he isn't referring to her. He must be talking about his sister. Whatever fight they had must have been pretty bad if he's getting upset and Oscar's getting involved. A part of me wants to try and help, a desperate desire, but I already have something else I have to do. Someone else who I want to help. I have to stay focused on that. Wallace? Huh? What? We're heading off. I wanted to say goodbye and just remind you that I'm always here to talk, even with everything. I know. I hope whatever's going on gets sorted. Fuck me. Fuck. Me too. With that, the two of them head off, leaving the three of us behind to chat for a little bit, but it isn't too long before Lily has to excuse herself as well. Oh, this coffee is good, y'all. The two of us start to walk towards the cafe, and there isn't a lot of talking between us. While I'm ruminating on what Lily had found, I think Lucas is thinking about Kostya. The only thing that we end up talking about while we walk is me asking if we should invite Aura to the cafe as well, but Lucas told me that he's usually at theater practice right now. We'll meet him later tonight, though, which makes me think that I'm probably staying in Lucas's apartment tonight. We hadn't decided that beforehand, but it makes sense that he'd want to go back to his own room. By the time we arrive in Little Market Street where the cafe hides, it starts to get dark. I ask Lucas if he wants to do this another time since it's already getting dark, but he declines, wanting to uphold his promise. I know that means a lot for him to interrupt his schedule for something like this, but I wonder if he's gotten used to me doing that to him. It has been happening a lot since we first met. Whenever I try to bring it up to him, though, he always dismisses it without much explanation. It's always strange seeing him get bashful over affection, but is completely immune when dealing with his own body. The cafe itself is busier here than it was the last time when we were here, with numerous tables filled out, though it doesn't seem as filled up as the first few times we came here. I don't recognize any of the customers this time. Even most of the staff doesn't look to be here, as only Bruce seems to be manning the counter. Looks like he's handling it himself well enough. Oh, interesting. Ooh, I like the tattoos. I haven't seen you two in a while. I expected the both of you to dive into full regular territory. What does that mean? Nothing, just that normally when it comes to guys like you, they tend to get a little, excited when they find a community. Baby gays and all that. Do we count as baby gays? Have either of you been to a club, had a hookup, or any kind of queer event? I share a glance with Lucas, and that looks to be all the answer that Bruce needs as he just nods his head, chuckling as he continues wiping down glasses. What's wrong with that? No need to be so feisty. I wasn't insulting you or your boyfriend, just stating a fact. Don't worry, you two will get used to this just like everyone else. I'm not sure I'll ever get used to this. Damn, religious trauma or bullying? Hey, this is a cafe and bar, so that makes me a bartender. You're supposed to talk to your bartender about things. I grew up in some shitty hick town. Teenagers were assholes. What do you expect? Sounds about right. Used to live in a place like that too before I moved out this way. Changed my life for the best. Something about that seems to shock and confuse Lucas, like Bruce had just muttered an encrypted code to him. What about your family? Did they move here too? Alright, 1 second, y'all. Water time. Alright, y'all, and we are back. Okay. What about your family? Did they move here too? No, I mean, sure, I visit my ma, but I don't really like to talk to my pa. Besides, what's the point? Why does it matter where they live? A family's supposed to stick together. Yeah, actually, you know what? Let's do more of a southern voice for him. Like that idea. Would your family want that if you were putting yourself somewhere you felt miserable compared to somewhere that would make you happy? When you want to live someplace where people accept you, where you have a wonderful boyfriend who loves you and friends who care about you? What kind of loving family wouldn't want that for you? Listen, buddy, I ain't here to give you a lecture. Like I said, I'm just a bartender, or a barista if you don't feel like listening, but I like you too. Plus, already told me to look out for you two, and I can't break a promise to that man. I just know that he'd find some way to clip these ears of mine. For a moment, I thought he was just making a joke, but the shivering, distant look in his eyes makes me think that Aura might be a lot scarier than I thought. Anyway, what are the two of you here for? Do you want a coffee or maybe a drink? Isn't that just the same thing? You're cute. Nah, being serious, okay? I mean a coffee or, alcohol, cocktails, that kind of thing. Oh, no, thank you. Is that just in regards to alcohol or a drink altogether? Didn't you just say a drink is alcohol? Did you want a coffee? I suppose a coffee couldn't hurt. Just black. Great. For your boyfriend? Oh, I don't drink coffee, but I could have a hot chocolate, assuming you do them. Of course, everyone loves a hot cocoa every once in a while. Find anywhere to sit, I'll bring it over to you two, don't worry. He walks back to a bunch of machines that I can only assume is making the coffee for him while Lucas leads me towards the quiet table that already took us to last time. Even today, it's a decent bit away from everyone else. He really does know this place well. As soon as we sit down, Lucas starts looking around like he's assessing the place. For a bit, I thought he might be trying to adjust to the amount of people inside, but I quickly realized he's just avoiding looking at me. We don't have to talk about any of it if you don't want to. No, it's fine. Just nervous, that's all. Well, what should we start with? Should we talk about Kostya first, or read the diary? I don't know. I'm not sure I'm going to be the best help in deciding that. I'm sorry. Hey, look at me. It's okay. Nothing bad is going to happen. We're just talking. Right, sorry. It's just hard not to feel anxious. About Kostya or about us? A bit of both, if I'm being honest. I figured it might be better to talk about Kostya first, since I have a feeling you won't be in the mood after reading the diary. That makes sense. What did you want to talk about? Yesterday, we talked about things and he told me a lot. And before you say anything, you don't have to justify yourself to any of it. I won't judge you for anything that happened. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there, y'all. Alright, thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon or YouTube memberships if you can. It always helps. But anyway, I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!